Hello, everybody. Good morning. It is September 5th, 2023, 9:22 a.m. It has been way too long since the market has been open. And yesterday, happy Labor Day to those who celebrated. It was a day to celebrate the workforce of the world. The market was closed. And look, I understand why the market was closed. There are national holidays. We have to close the market. However, it's time to open up the market again. You know, it's time. The market was missed. It's time to get back into the day-to-day grind of seeing the numbers go up and down. This is one of the coolest things to do in the world. And as a result of that, I tweeted this last night, and I think a lot of people will kind of resonate with this. I said, I feel bad for those that attach their day-to-day content consumption within music, sports, or politics. Music is only relevant when your favorite artist drops an album. Sports is you wasting your life for a team that truly doesn't care about you, and politics is ridiculous. The stock market solves this. We have constant news, company earnings 4 times a year, juicy headlines, second-by-second updates. If you like numbers, imagine hundreds of years of data being condensed to form patterns and charts every day. Technical analysis, aka astrology for men, and you actually learn how to make money. Ladies and gentlemen, the stock market is back, and in 7 minutes, we get back to enjoying the beautiful market. Here we go. Iceman, JJ, Hakoon, Roy, Sethi Roth, Victor, Mr. Seymour Duck, Nathaniel, Victor Hernandez, Joseph Villegas, Captain Chuck, Monty, TJ, The Wheel Deal, Mark LeBlanc, Doug, Captain Chuck, Ray, Roy, Dominic, Broccoli, Bob, Julio, Surrey, Ray, amid extending the holidays. Imnop, good morning. Miami, Kelly, you look so good. WTF, thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. It's a nice comment to wake up to this morning. Dex, Natalie, Garcia, Inbound, Roy. Thank you, everybody. And let's get back to the market open. All right. So we don't have that many crazy headlines this morning. Just honestly, one or two big pieces of news, and then we'll get into the market open. So what we see here in the chat is very important. Airbnb is joining the S&P 500. Let me pull that comment up right here. This happened on Friday, late Friday night, right after the market opened. Airbnb, right after the market closed, was decided to join the S&P 500. I think we saw a little bit of a 4% bump on the stock. Let me actually pull it up right now. That was one of the big headlines we saw before the right when the week ended. And then we have another headline that's the title of this video. So we went from 131 up to 140. So we're up pretty nicely in after hours on Airbnb, up 6%, and that's primarily because of the S&P 500 news. Now, will that be sold off? We'll see. Will that rally last? We're going to see. But obviously, very big news for the stock. The big news of the day is ARM is looking to go public, and as a result of ARM looking to go public, they are trying to raise $4 billion at a average price of around $60 a share. So let me pull up this thing right now. And the companies that have already committed about 700 million include some of the biggest companies in the world. So here is the headline, and then we'll get into some charts. ARM is looking to IPO around September, 95.5 million shares. They are looking to IPO at $47 to $51 a share. IPO will raise about 4.4 to 4.8 billion. AMD, Apple, Google, Intel, Nvda, TSMC, Samsung have committed 735 million, almost $1 billion so far. SoftBank, when the company goes public, will own 91% of the IPO, which begs the question around what SoftBank's stock is going to do as ARM IPOs. And originally, I thought, maybe you buy SoftBank, maybe you kind of see what the proxy play is, but this one's going to look very volatile. Not only is ARM's IPO incredibly expensive if you just look at the pure valuation to the metrics, even if, Google, AMD, Apple, the reason they're buying, by the way, is because they have to, right? Like these guys, ARM probably called them up and said, hey guys, you got to buy some shares. Like we make every single chip you need, so you need to buy this stuff. So that's why they're buying the shares. But on top of that, SoftBank, I think, is going to be incredibly volatile in terms of the stock itself, and ARM is going to be incredibly volatile just given the nature of how much money is going to be flowing in. If you're able to get in at that $47.51 price, maybe it's a quick trade that you'll be able to get out of. But the idea that retail gets in at $47, it's hard, man. Airbnb, for those that don't know, went public at $63. It ran up to $120 the first day. And Brian Chesky, the CEO, was pretty pissed off. I mean, if you saw in the interview when they told him the stock price, he was like, but JP Morgan told me that 63 was a fair value. It's like, nope. JP Morgan told you 63, and then they pocketed the difference when they went up to 120. So it's not that easy to get the cheapest price on IPO day, which is why I will probably be sitting out of it. But it'll be exciting to kind of see where it goes and how it ends up turning out. Missy, good morning. Thank you for being here, Missy. Gaming with HB Galaxy Life. Good morning, Amit from the UK. Good morning, sir. Or in your case, good afternoon. I believe it's, 4 p.m., 5 p.m. for you. Hope you're having a good day. IPO is probably overpriced. That's a funny one. It's probably overpriced. All right. So in the pre-market, we got 3 minutes till the market opens. Palantir down 0.92% at $15.04. Palantir still down from the Morgan Stanley report that took it down about 10%, recovering a little bit. Now only down about 7 to 8% from the initial drop. Honestly, the Morgan Stanley report didn't have that big of an impact outside of, seeing continued downside momentum going into the $12, $13 range, but we did get stuck at like $14.80 and then we rebounded. Also, one quick point, Palantir daily streams are back. So they're going to be on my channel. I'm aiming for 9 p.m. to 9:45 every single day. Daily Palantir Shareholder Meeting Club. I didn't do it for the past 2 weeks. Honestly, it's because when we do Finance Junkies on my channel, it's hard to do another stream right after. But now Finance Junkies is on a different channel. That's 7 p.m. It's on the Finance Junkies podcast, its own channel. So my channel is free to kind of like be able to do the stream when I want. 9 p.m. to around 9:45-ish every night. Palantir. I know some people were missing the streams. We're going back to it every single day. Daily Palantir streams. There's enough news to cover. There's enough stuff to cover. So we'll be covering it every single day and discussing everything we can discuss. And we might discuss some other stuff around the market as well. So 9 p.m. we'll be back. Nvda 481 in the pre-market. Apple 0.76. I put up a poll yesterday on Twitter. Okay. 50 seconds from the market open. I put up a poll yesterday on Twitter. I said, and I'm going to actually ask the poll in the chat. I said bigger market cap by 2028, Apple or Tesla. And I was shocked at the response I got. I personally thought Tesla was going to blow people away. And that was not the response. The response was 50-50, literally 50-50, 3,165 votes. Let me share this real quick, then we'll get into the market open. Let me know what you guys think. I'll make a poll in a second. 3,000 votes, 50-50 Apple Tesla. That means 1,500 people are betting on Tim Cook over Elon Musk, which I find incredibly interesting. 50% of people are betting on the Vision Pro over the massive energy business. I don't know. I found that I get that Tesla's $3 trillion. And if they go to 4 trillion, then Apple's 3 trillion, Apple will probably go to 4 trillion. Then, Tesla has to 5x from here. I get that. But still, I think it's possible. All right. It is 9:30 a.m. September 5th, 2023. I know you missed the cowbell, so the cowbell's back, ladies and gentlemen. The stock market is open. Wake your ass up. Here we go. Palantir. What do we got? We got Palantir at $15.09, down 0.59%, up a little bit from the pre-market when it was at $15.02. Disney. 2014 lows. We did an entire podcast on this yesterday. $81.35. Let me know in the chat if you are all excited for Disney's. Tesla, 245, up just slightly at 0.09%. Obviously took a massive nosedive from 257 when they announced the Model 3 refresh. But on top of that, the price cuts, I think, took it down a little bit. So that one is down. Robinhood, $10.94. Just bought back 55 million shares at $10.96. So just under where they bought their shares from. PayPal at $63.37. SoFi, $878. Nvidia, $479, just falling below $480. Apple, $188. S&P at $450, falling below $452 on Friday. NEO at $10.83, down 1.27%. Marathon Digital, Riot, the Bitcoin miners, they're down about 2 points. Coinbase, $76. CleanSpark, $4.05. Ginkgo Bioworks, $2.24, maintaining its 21% earnings, or not earnings bump, but Google collaboration bump. Jason Kelly went on CNBC on Friday, and people continue to think he was a scam. I don't think the company is a scam, but I can understand why they think the CEO sounds like a scam. So DNA now at $2.22. Alibaba at $94.61. Arc Innovation at $43. And NASDAQ, 13,986. So we've opened below 14,000. It's a red market, folks. It's not that red, but it is red. Most of the percentage down points are like 0.5, 0.05, 1.2. But it is indeed red. So the market does open red to start the day. Truist Financial, a little bit green right here. Regional Bank, $30.93. Bitcoin at 25,753. People are expecting Bitcoin to hit a little bit of a potential worse than June 2022 bottom in the coming weeks to prepare for that halving event. It'll be interesting if that does happen. But Bitcoin right now at 25,747, below the $30,000 range. SMCI at 279, AMD at 108. One of the interesting things, let's go to Netflix real quick, about what's going on with the workers is Netflix at 444 and Paramount is struggling. The actor strike is still going on, and it's kind of good for some of these companies, kind of bad. Good in the sense of they're not having to deal with some of these expenses from the actors. Bad in the sense of they aren't really coming up with that much new content, but that's okay because a lot of them have a ton of content that they're still able to push in front of people. Disney in a very particular situation in terms of how they're dealing with this. Breaking Bad star Jesse, I forgot his real name. You guys know him, the guy who always says the B word. I forgot his name. Oh, Aaron Paul. He was on a strike yesterday, and he said, "Look, all the Netflix reruns of Breaking Bad, I'm not making any money from it." I was shocked to hear that because I've watched Breaking Bad on Netflix at least 3 times in the past 10 years because I just love Breaking Bad. He didn't make a single dollar from all the times I'm watching it, and that was really interesting to me. And I know on TV he gets paid residual royalties from that, but on Netflix it's a totally different model. And so I can understand why he's pissed off. Granted, he did get paid a crap ton of money to make Breaking Bad. And if you didn't negotiate owning equity in the actual company, well, kind of sucks to be. I mean, you did what talent does. They took the quick money, right? Instead of taking equity. I don't even know if you could have negotiated that, but that's not what you did. So there are 2 perspectives to that. But nonetheless, it is, it's a reason for why they're still on strike, to be able to negotiate better deals with some of these streamers. And we'll see if they're going to be able to do it. But I don't know if Netflix is going to be ready to give that out. SoFi at 880, kind of flat on the day. Netflix at 444. Robinhood at 1091, and Palantir going below $15 at 14.99. All right, we got a red market. We definitely got a little bit of a red market here. Let's see some of the comments. Airbnb just got S&P inclusion. Yeah, let me check on Airbnb real quick. Where's Airbnb at? Airbnb at 142. So congrats to all shareholders. 6.2% on Airbnb. Let me know if you hold Airbnb stock. And I'm going to do the Tesla Apple poll because I think 3,000 is on Twitter is not a small sample size. I mean, 3,000 is like a decent amount of votes. Let's ask it to the people in the chat here. Do you think by 2028, Tesla or Apple will have a larger market cap? I'm incredibly interested to see what people say. Tesla or Apple, larger market cap 2028. That means that's all I'm asking for is market capitalization. What do you think it is? Okay, started the poll. Fubo up 6%. Yeah, that's because Disney stopped that charter communication stuff. And so everyone went to watch live sports with Fubo. I tried signing up for Fubo the other day. It was interesting. I mean, look, it's a good product. I just don't watch enough TV for me to get that excited about it, so I didn't care. But, it is an interesting product. And for those that care about live sports, I haven't gone through their numbers, but I would imagine they're definitely getting a boost after Disney canceled their partnership with Charter Communications. So definitely a big catalyst for Fubo as well. Crossroads changed his mind. Oh, Crossroads, you said yesterday Apple. Something changed your mind. Yesterday you said Apple. Now we got Tesla. Interesting. Yeah, to me it's obvious it's going to be Tesla. To me it's obvious. And I say this as someone who doesn't even own Tesla stock. It's obvious it's going to be Tesla. I mean, like, I know Tesla's had a rough time in 2023, even though it's still up pretty phenomenally. But I mean, I think it's Tesla. I think Apple is at a 30 PE and it stops growing. The only part of Apple that's growing is their services business. And the services business is very interesting because they already have, I think, 2 billion installed devices, right? So they make money off of the music or the fitness or whatever else services you buy, the advertising, all that stuff, which is fine. But I don't think Apple is going to significantly increase the install bases. Why? Very simple. The majority of the world that's getting internet, that's coming online, that is going to be, accessing the internet via Starlink, they're not buying iPhones. They're buying crappy Android phones, basic phones that are not that crappy, by the way, but just like really cheap phones. They're not buying $1,000 iPhones that have the insane margin. Now, if Apple decides, hey, we're going to go after India and all these different parts of Asia that are very, very poor and make the iPhone 12 Pro, like, I don't know, $100 just to be able to gain market share in the context of services, maybe they've got a strategy. I don't know if they would do that. I don't know if shareholders would like that. But if the only thing that's growing is services, and then we get into the question of the Vision Pro. maybe the Vision Pro is the next iPad, maybe. But if it's not, what is there left to grow for Apple? I mean, really, what is there left to grow for Apple? The only other question becomes a car, and I don't know when a car is coming, to be honest. I mean, maybe it's coming, but I don't know when the car is coming in a meaningful way. Are you a Tesla bull or not? Yes, of course I'm a Tesla bull. I'm just a Tesla bull that doesn't have a share of Tesla. That's all. All right, 71-29, 109 votes, Tesla versus Apple. For those that say Apple, why? What is the reasoning for why? That is my question. What is the reasoning for why? September options. September is the month where 2026 options will be coming out. I believe September 9th or 11th, we are going to get those options. So for those that were thinking of 2026 options, they're coming out. Chris made a good point last night to not touch them for the next 30 days because the volatility is just going to be insane. So that is one thing to watch out for when those options are released for 2026. And the premiums are just going to be really, really high. All right, let's get a crude oil update. We have $90 a share on Brent oil price. $90 a share. As you can see right here, it's up 2% today. Here we go. 2%. $90, $89.56. Part of the reason why this is happening is because of some of the stuff that's going on with the Saudis in terms of their voluntary price cuts. Oil has actually been under control decently over the past month. Like at one point it was above 90 and it was going kind of crazy, and it chilled, came back to 83. Trueflation at 2.67%. If we get a resurgence in oil and energy, that's not going to be good for inflation. We need September CPI to be really good. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of how oil plays out from here. And on top of that, you've also got some weird stuff going on with Rocket Man, as Trump used to call him, and Putin. There are numerous reports that North Korean President Kim Jong-un is meeting with Vladimir Putin, and Putin is potentially discussing an arms deal with the dude to present him some weapons. Now, look, this is not a good thing. This alliance in and of itself forming is not a great thing. In general, if Putin gives the dude, what's his name? I keep saying Kim Jong-un the weapons, I don't think it's necessarily going to matter because Kim Jong-un has had tons of weapons. He doesn't know how to use them. He's super scared to use them. They launch all these nuclear tests. Nothing ever happens. So I don't think North Korea is a threat. The problem is North Korea getting in bed with Russia is just never good because China is in bed with Russia and Russia's trying to get in bed with India. So from a geopolitical perspective, in the context of going back to investing oil, it's good for nobody. But, hopefully it's not something that ends up becoming incredibly dangerous. So Biden's got to be doing something, bro. I don't know what Biden is doing. Trump was fucking shaking hands with the North Korea dude. Biden's just I haven't even heard from Biden in 10 months or whatever. But apparently there's just a bunch of political shit going on, and Biden's just letting everything go down. North Korea needs food and supplies, but yeah, they probably will try to trade weapons again. And the reason they need food and supplies, remember, is because they've gutted their economy. They fundamentally don't believe in free markets and entrepreneurship, and as a result of that, they've brainwashed all their citizens. If they'd opened up their economy, I think the global markets and the UN would love to welcome North Korea into trade and enterprise and commerce and global engagement. Because what's the population of North Korea? Population of North Korea, I think it's like 100 million. Oh, 25. Okay, 25 million people would be entering in to the global economy. That would be a huge boost for GDP. But, currently they're not there because they don't engage with anything. And so that's kind of the issue in the context of what's going on with North Korea. He wants food for his starving citizens. Yeah, it's sad, man. It's really, one thing, no matter how crappy you think your life is, you should be very happy you're not in North Korea. You're blessed to at least live in the United States, where we have just a little bit more freedoms than North Korea. Let's get an update on the Hollywood strike. Obviously, this is going to affect a lot of content stocks. And in fact, this may affect a lot of big tech stocks that try to swoop in and gobble up some of these media companies because of their issues with content. So let's take a look at what's going on with the strikes.
Matt Bellany, Puck's founding partner. Good morning to you. Let's start with the state of play for the strike. And I want to get to some of Barry Diller's comments as well that he made last week. But Labor Day was the day that for many months now, you and I and so many others talked about being the day that this would all get resolved. And I'm looking at my clock and we're not there yet.
Yeah, I've officially moved my date. I think this is going to start to be resolved to next month because there's really not an end in sight. I mean, the two sides on the Writers Guild side and the studio side, they did go back and forth on a proposal a couple weeks ago. And the studios thought that they made some traction there. They gave on a couple of the issues. They wanted to use that as a template. The Writers Guild basically said, we're not prepared to do that. And, they have so much leverage behind them. This is a situation where two unions are on strike at the same time. They know on the writer's side that they have extraordinary leverage that they haven't had for many, many years. So they're going for it.
How cohesive is the producer alliance? And the reason I ask is Barry Diller made a comment that basically they should break up and split away, that Disney is a very different kind of organization than a Netflix is, or an Amazon or an Apple specifically.
Well, Barry's right that these are different companies that have different agendas, but they come together for this one purpose of negotiating labor guild deals, and it would actually be pretty difficult for them to break off. There's a notice period. They have a written contract, so the people that are left behind could actually sue the company that breaks away. So it's not as easy as Netflix just saying, you know what, we're going to do this on our own. They actually enter into this AMPTP group for a reason, and they're contractually bound. So it would be a little bit difficult. Not saying it couldn't happen, but it would be difficult.
Coming after
this is tough, man. This is a tough situation to be in if you're Netflix or Disney, because you've got to deal with the fact that you've got a crap ton of AI that can do the job a lot better than these actors. Not perfectly, but to an extent. And so you're trying to negotiate with the actors like, hey, we know that we've paid you for the past 100 years to write scripts. But now we've got ChatGPT. And by the way, we've got a custom ChatGPT just for our studio. We've got a fine-tuned LLM that is going to be significantly good, if not better, dare I say better, than a regular writer. We're going to keep you employed. It's just we don't want to pay you as much as we were paying you to write the script because you can edit the script that this AI makes and we can save 80% of the cost. Now imagine being a writer hearing that, knowing you've been writing scripts for shows for the past, 10 years, and now you're telling me that I have to adjust and edit and prompt engineer what a robot is coming out with. And the studio executive is like, well, yeah, because the sales guy from, the AI company told me that the large language model is synthesizing all these resources and understanding all this data. If you're the writer, you have zero incentive to let this happen. I mean, quite frankly, does anyone remember? Ironic, I was saying if you care about sports, then you're wasting your life. But in 2011, I really did care about sports. The NBA had a lockout season. And the players simply were not going to play unless the owners negotiated a better deal, because they were like, if we take this deal, then the next players in the next NBA generation are going to be screwed because the owners are just going to get all the leverage. And so I think it's very important for the writers to ultimately take this moment and say, look, if we let this happen, we will never be able to have true leverage in this business again. And writing scripts is one example. Now imagine the digital animators. Airbnb up 8% today. Congrats all Airbnb shareholders. Digital animators that drew things for the past 100 years. Now, if you looked at Google's next event, you type in a word and it comes up with an image, and it comes up with an image in a very pristine, keen, acute type of way. And so it's going to be hard for these writers to negotiate and these actors to negotiate in the context of AI. However, they have to do it. Because if they don't do it, they will never have leverage, and the tech companies and the media companies will eat all over them. But if I'm a media company executive, I'm also saying, like, look, if this AI shit can do your job, we don't need you, bro. Because think of it from an executive's perspective. Disney up 0.43% on the day, Paramount up 2%, and Netflix up 2%. If I'm a studio executive, why do I care about the creativity of my content? I don't. Most studio executives don't give a shit about the content. They care about all the advertising and all the subscribers they can get from the content. That implicitly implies that the content has to be good. But all they care about is that the content is good, not that the origins of the intrinsic nature of the content is so rooted in human creativity that it makes the content good. They don't give a shit. They just want the content to be good. If AI can make the content good, and you have to hire some humans to make it a little bit better, if you're an executive, if you're a shareholder, that's all you care about. You don't really care about creativity. It's at fundamental odds. That's why creative businesses are so interesting. The idea of being a creative in and of itself is so at odds with also trying to maintain a business. And so it's a tough situation. AI written scripts and acting will lack human connection and emotion. I think the acting will lack emotion. I don't think the scripts will potentially lack emotion. Maybe right now, but as the chatbots get better, as the LLMs get better, we're only in version like 0.01 of this shit. Like this is going to get better and better and better and better. And so I think that's why the studio executives are like, how can we pay you $100,000 a year to write a script when the thing on this little device can do it for, it'll cost us like $10, $20 after the one-time cost we pay, and we'll pay you $20,000 to edit it, but we can save $80,000 on our bottom line because you don't need to make it, So it's a hard situation to be in at the end of the day. Very hard situation. It's a slippery slope. It is indeed a slippery slope. McDonald's are removing cashiers, so will the studios with the writers. Yeah, I mean, look, if McDonald's is removing cashiers, Disney and Netflix are not going to just stand by and let their costs go to crap. Sachin, thank you for being here. Sachin writes an awesome newsletter. I was actually reading your Nvda newsletter last night. If you guys aren't on LinkedIn, I would highly recommend going on LinkedIn and checking out Sachin's newsletter. Great stuff from there. Amit, do you have a degree? If so, what degree and from what school? I have a business management degree from Rutgers University. I personally believe the business management degree means nothing in the real world, by the way. I just got the degree because in case all else fails and I have to get a job, at least I have some degree. SoFi at 887, but business management is not a real degree. I mean, if we're being honest, I mean, there were some classes and I attributed my 4 years of college to the social life, and I started a shit ton of businesses. When I mean a shit ton, I mean like 20 or 30 different businesses, failed at a bunch of them. One of them actually worked and ended up paying for all of college. So the one that worked really worked, but the other ones that failed, they all failed. And I got a lot of experience, and I went to a lot of parties, and I enjoyed my life. So that's what my college experience was for. And I honestly would do it again. I really loved college. But the educational side all came from me taking risks and starting my own shit. I mean, I literally went to a local restaurant nearby and I said, hey, can I talk to the CEO? And the CEO was so impressed because he heard me from the back. He was like, all right, come to my office. And I convinced him to let me do a digital marketing internship. And that's how I got one of my first internships. I mean, like I walked into Hansel and Gretel on New Brunswick. I said, hey, I need to talk to the CEO. He was like, all right, come to the back. And then, I did an internship with him for 2 months, and it was really cool. That's the type of shit I was doing in college. I wasn't really paying attention to managerial accounting as much as I probably should have. So yeah, business degree, but business degree is not as useful unless you're really trying to get a job. Enphase at 129, GameStop 18, AMC at 13, Meta at 297. Oh, Meta's inching back upwards towards $300 right now at 297. AMD at 107. And where is Palantir? We haven't checked on it in a second. Palantir at 1511, rebounding from that 14.99 low. All right, not bad for Palantir. Okay, we got another piece of news update here in regards to what the Fed is trying to do. So let's pull that up right now. So the Fed Governor Waller has agreed that the Fed, the central bank, can proceed carefully on interest rates. I think that means to pause. Wink, wink. Fed Governor Christopher Wallace told CNBC on Tuesday that a hell of a good week of data will buy them, the central bank, some time on policy decisions. While he was encouraged by the recent reports on where prices are trending, he said that they also indicate that the Fed can afford to hold rates higher until it is ensured inflation is on the run. That's actually bullish, because holding rates higher means pausing and holding them high, not raising, if I'm not interpreting that wrong, which means as long as we don't get a raise, I think a lot of the market will be happy. Waller is generally considered one of the more hawkish members of the rate-setting FOMC committee, meaning he has favored tighter monetary policy and higher interest rates on the central bank's inflation until summer of 2022. He's one of the guys that's basically in this closed room of these like 7 people talking about what trajectory the direction of the country should go. Literally, it's like 7 to 12 people talking about whether we should raise or not. And so his opinion really matters. While he was encouraged by the recent reports on where prices are trending, he also indicates the Fed can afford to hold rates higher. That depends on the data. We have to wait and see if this inflation trend is continuing. We've been burned twice before. In 2021, we saw it coming down, then it shot up. At the end of 2022, we saw it coming down, then it revised away. Look, honestly, I can't blame him. I mean, if you're trying to get rid of inflation, I do understand him having PTSD. The problem is a lot of the Fed, it looks to lagging data. And from the data we've seen, especially if you look at the inventory of apartments that are being built, the rents that we're seeing, which is one of the highest parts of inflation, is going to start dropping in the next couple months dramatically, given all that inventory that's coming up there. Markets are assigning a near certainty to the chances that the Fed skips a hike in the September 19th meeting, which is only 14 days away. However, there's a 43.5% probability of an increase on the November 1st session. Wow. Okay. Last quote by Waller. I don't think one more hike would necessarily throw the economy into a recession. It's not obvious that we're in real danger of doing a lot of damage to the job market, even if we raise rates one more time. Okay. So Waller definitely thinks one more rate hike is not the worst thing in the world. I think a lot of us would be really annoyed if we have to raise rates one more time. We have to have a phenomenally good CPI in September and October for them to not raise rates on Halloween. Could you imagine on Halloween they raise rates? That would suck, bro. On Halloween, they would raise rates. That would be like one of the worst. And my birthday is October 27th, so that would be very close to my birthday. Victor Hernandez, Amit, by the way, a day without your market opening is boring. I appreciate it. Thank you, Victor. It sucked not doing the market open yesterday as well. It's like, it wasn't even a fun way to start my day. So happy to be here and doing the market open as well. I went to Popeyes yesterday. A 12-piece meal is $55. Inflation is here to stay. No, I'm not going to lie, bro. I went to Popeyes, I think like a month ago. Either something's wrong with Popeyes or inflation has really gotten the best of them because their prices are ridiculous. And I was like, I literally went to Popeyes and I'm like, I'm leaving Popeyes. I'm not buying anything here. I'm like, I'm not paying this much. This is ridiculous. And those calories, forget that. By the way, guys, checked my weight this morning. Okay. Went on the scale, checked my weight. 154.2. It was 178 back in July. All right. My target is 140. So I don't know if you guys see it I don't know if you guys like a couple months ago, there were like rolls on top of rolls on my neck. So it's down about 20 pounds. And we're going for 30. We're going for 30 pounds. I want by October to be 140 pounds, end of October. If I can get there, I will be very happy. So, and it came with a lot of calorie restrictive, not dieting, but just like deficits. So if I were to eat Popeyes, I mean, that's like 1,200 calories, 1,300 calories. And on top of that, it costs money. I was just like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to go. I'm going to eat a fucking banana. That'll be my lunch today. I'm not taking these calories in. So the biggest thing for me, just like inflation, I can't rebound. Because let me tell you something. Okay. I'm like inflation. Tesla up 2.7%, by the way. If I have a cheat meal, honestly, the rest of the day is going to be a cheat day. I know myself. It's a toxic trait I have. If I go all in on something, I'm going to go all in. If I eat healthy in the morning, I will eat healthy for the rest of the day. And if it's on a Monday, I will eat healthy till the rest of the week. If I eat a cheat meal on a Wednesday in the middle of the week, by the end of the week, I'll be like 10 pounds heavier. Because I'll be like, you know what? Fuck it. Nothing even matters. I already cheated on Wednesday. What's so bad about cheating on Thursday? Oh, Thursday, TJIF. It's about to be Friday. Friday, I should get a nice little Chick-fil-A. It's Friday. Like, let's just enjoy life. And then boom, I go to shit. And that's what happened all of 2022. And so I have to be very diligent on my weight to make sure I don't end up like inflation. S&P going below 450 at 449. Again, it's a definitive red market today, but it's not that red. Amazon and Google are down. If anyone watched the Google Next event, that Google event was incredible. Dare I say it shook a little bit of a Palantir thesis if you think about what AIP is like. Now, granted, I think it's a very big market. I think Palantir has a massive opportunity to be able to get, and I don't think Google's eating up the entire market, but Google showcased their AI capabilities for enterprises and for government organizations, and it was pretty phenomenal. And it looked similar to what AIP could be. So I don't know if AIP can be conducive with something like ChatGPT for Enterprise or Google. I think there's actually some synergy there, if I'm not wrong, or they're direct competitors. I think there's a lot to be seen. But the one thing this is showing, the bull case for Palantir, is that if Google is in your market, if Microsoft's in your market, that means you have a hell of a market. And so Palantir was never going to be the only competitor. If they can grab even 5% of this market over the next decade, they're going to be a very, very big company. But it is, it is competition, and it is very big in terms of what Google is trying to do. That Next event was incredibly interesting, given how they're trying to target different parts of the enterprise. I drove 50 minutes once for a Chick-fil-A on a Sunday. Those that understand Chick-fil-A understand why that's funny on a Sunday. Amit had more rolls than TJ's portfolio. That's a good one. For those that, shout out to TJ the Wheel to always rolling his calls. That's a good one. Are you training for a UFC fight? Yo, honestly, one of the best ways to get in shape is to act as if you're training for a fight. I'm not, but I would love to get into the habit of training for a fight, because that would be That'd be crazy. How tall are you? I'm 5'7". I'm 5'7". Bro, I was 185 at 5'7". I was like a fucking Oompa Loompa marshmallow last year, bro. I the beard just kind of hit it, so you guys didn't really see how fat I was. But I was fat, bro. Go to some of my videos from October last year. Just go to some of them. Like, your boy was big, bro. Like, fucking, if I had a white beard, I'd be like Santa Claus or something. Like, it was bad. It was bad. Kelly says, at least we'd be in Vegas to drink our sorrows away. That's true. If the Fed hikes while we're in Vegas, bro, oh my God. If we get that update that the Fed just hiked and we're in Vegas, it would be so sad. We would have to drink it. We would have to drink it away. That's it. I've lost 20 pounds, but if I ever get to your weight, I'm missing limbs. Yeah, well, you're taller than me, Crossroads. So that's the difference. That was higher than what you need to be for your health. Yeah, I agree. Some people are like, oh, no, 180 was fine. It's like, no, bro, 180 at 5'7"? Dude, that's like big. Like, that's very big. Like, I had to change that. Had to make a change. Had to change it. Admit you're shooting up Ozempic. Bro, I've never taken a weight loss drug before, ever. So, like, I've lost weight a couple times in my life just naturally, and this is like the third time I'm doing this process. But I've never had something help me on the side. So I don't know, maybe it is helpful, but I've just always done it naturally. And it sucks doing it naturally because you got to like actually do it, but it feels so rewarding at the end when you actually like lose some weight. All right. I think that's it for the market open. When in Vegas, October 28th, 29th, we are, me, the Finance Junkies crew will be in Vegas. If you are interested, email me, amit@dailypalantir.com, or DM me on Twitter. I'll put your number in a group chat and I'll text that group chat wherever we're at in Vegas, and you guys can come meet us up. But 28th and 29th, if you're coming to Vegas to see us. And yeah, our Airbnb is booked, flights are booked, so it'll be super exciting and it'll be fun. I imagine you to be 6 feet tall. Yo, some of you see people that see me in Vegas. I'm not going to be tall, bro. I'm a short guy. Vitaly's tall. I think Carl's the same height as me. Chris is a little bit taller. I'm a short dude. I have a lot of fucking personality. Okay. I'm a big ball of energy because I have to be, because all my life there would be no way I would get girls if I wasn't incredibly personable. In fact, my old Twitter name, you guys are going to flame me for this, used to be Amit_AK Charm. It's deleted. It's not there anymore. But that AK Charm, I used to be like, oh, I have charm. I was so stupid. It was in high school. That's what I did. So, you know, your boy needed to have energy and personality to do what I need to do. Because if you're not tall, the world is very rude and mean and discriminatory to people that are not tall. And so I had to do what I had to do. I had to do what I had to do. All right. That's it for me. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I got a couple of videos coming out on Palantir today. Daily live stream will be back at 9 p.m. And I have an update on the Titan contract for Palantir, a very big contract we're competing with Raytheon in. That video will be coming out in a couple of hours. Oh, my God. Word of the day. Broccoli Bob, thank you so much. Word of the day. Word of the day. Okay, let's do word of the day. Here we go. Word of the day is extol.
Extol.
To praise highly. The word of the day is to praise highly. The teacher extols the virtues of hard work. The motivational speaker passionately extols the importance of perseverance. Okay, so to praise highly. So this is an easy word. You can use it in your day-to-day life. If you praise highly anything today, you will be extol. I extol the audience for being here in the morning. Thank you for all being here and being with me with the content. That is my... Yo, I hate you guys, bro. Oh my God, Garcia, Amit is X tall. How did I not realize? I could have made that. I'm mad at myself for not making that joke. I'm mad I had to look at the chat to make that joke. Oh my God, I should have made that word. It was a shitty word of the day because it was like a very simple word, but it was so perfect with what we were talking about 2 seconds before. Goodness, I wish I had made that joke. I really wish I had made that joke. That would have been a funny joke. Amit is X tall. That would have been fun. That would have been fun. Yeah, I just said Merriam-Webster. The word of the day is ambiguous. That's a boring word of the day. And then what's the New York Times word of the day? Exacerbate. Yeah, bro, I need a website. If someone can find me a website that has actually good, unique words of the day, not like the words that we learned when we were in first grade, please let me know. Or maybe I should make that website. Maybe that's another side hustle. Maybe I should make a website that literally gives you the actual good word of the day. Because my vocabulary is too intellectually superior for all these other word of the days. So there we go. That's it for me. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Palantir Weekly, or not Palantir Weekly, Palantir Daily, 9 p.m. stream, and then another update on the Titan contract that'll be out in a couple hours. And that's it for me. The market's back. The market's open. It's time to go enjoy the day and look at our portfolios either go up or down. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you in a new one. Bye.